Ooh. All right. The court is in session. I am the Honorable Judge Tony Pior, and I do appreciate you guys for tuning in with me tonight. Boy, oh boy, do I have a show for y'all tonight. And listen, I think I forgot the shit somewhere else. I don't even know where my papers are. Y'all, this would be terrible. No, it won't. Let me check. Let me see. Oh, God. Give me a second. All right, we're back. All right, so let's just get this thing into action. I do apologize for the delay in the ethnic things that are taking place. But tonight, what we're going to be discussing will be a lot of things that is going on in the world. This is a special Ethnically Speaking show, and again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in with me. So, going over into the news, what we have going on is we're going to talk about Vidant, which is one of the biggest hospitals down in North Carolina. Hey, North Carolina, we're going to talk about it. I'm really not sure they're out there. I feel like they're over there. All right, so we're going to talk about Vidant. We're also going to discuss the recent shooting that took place in Raleigh. And let me tell y'all something. I have called just about every single person that has a business in that little area or whatever. And I ain't get no information, y'all. I ain't got no information. But I do have some information from the phone calls I had. I don't know. I don't know where they're at. Check anywhere. Look in there. I think they're in that bag. So, as well as speaking about the coronavirus, because the coronavirus is really crippling everyone, and I just want to have an open discussion about that. Because, for real, the coronavirus, we're going to talk about the coronavirus, and we're going to speak on that. So, thank you guys again for tuning in. Let's just get right into it. I did leave some of my notes. I don't know how I left my notes. I don't know where my notes went, but I did lose some of my notes. So I just hit my assistant. She's gone out to help me. So, Lord Jesus, let's hope she goes out there and she gets that for us. All right, Instagram, if you have good connection, perfect. Facebook, if you have any issues, please let me know. We are, something just happened to the computer. However, so first things first is Vidant. If you guys are from North Carolina, you know about Vidant. Vidant is one of the biggest hospitals in North Carolina. Actually, it is one of the largest hospitals. It's the largest hospital on eastern North Carolina. All right. So they just had a layoff of over 190 people. Now, before they try to say that it's due to the coronavirus, it's more than that. It's due to a lot of things. I'm definitely going to give you the information. I'm going to tell you all about it. So, from my understanding, first thing that happened, allegedly, the workers were laid off. They were escorted out of their wherever workstation they were at. Apparently, men came up to them and escorted them out one by one, letting them know that you have been terminated. They were allowed back in yesterday around 6 p.m. to gather all their items and their personal belongings that they left behind after being escorted out. But they were giving a security escort to gather their belongings as if they were animals. Allegedly. Vidant houses apparently 12,000 employees in their network of hospitals that they have going on. So it says that they have 12,000 employees, and 3,000 of those are apparently nurses. So that's 12,000 people. 3,000 of the 12,000 are nurses, and it makes people who are not clinical staff eligible for being terminated due to the deficit that Vidant is experiencing. As far as the money, people may ask, what's the money situation? What is it about? So we're going to get into the money. Nothing? Okay. So let's get into the money situation. Apparently, I don't know why I keep saying Biden, But we're going to talk about it. We're going to something's going on with the president candidate Biden. We're going to touch on that next episode. So with Vidant, let me go ahead and tell y'all. I still got my notes up right here. 3,000 are nervous. Over 190 people laid over. So they had revenue back in 2017 of $1.6 billion reportedly. This was in a press release that Vidant. I don't know why I keep saying Biden. But Vidant Hospital, the entire corporation, had $1.6 billion in revenue by the end of the year, fiscal year 2017. Reportedly, they are close to $20 million in debt. They cannot. Well, they had a $20 million deficit, which means they're $20 in debt because they didn't make the money to pay the people that need to pay. That's debt to me, you guys. Back in 2017, there was an ECU. They did a deal with ECU, School of Medicine, that was $462 million worth. That was a $462 million deal. Vidant paid ECU $35 million up front. Then they agreed to pay ECU $14.25 million annually over the next 30 years. My math ain't the best, but I do know that 2017 was about 3-4 years ago because we're in 2020. So now we're having this deficit. Let's see. There's a 30% increase from the $11 million that Vidant was paying before they became Vidant. But, we're going to talk about that. Pitt Memorial was the name of the hospital, and that's, once the Vidant Medical Group took in, that's how it became the name Vidant. I probably said Biden. If I say Biden, y'all just vote for Biden. Damn, I'm a ton. But, so with all of that was going on during the things where they were trying to negotiate and everything like that, over the years they came to that conclusion that, hey, if you house our medical school, which is ECU has the Brody School of Medicine, if you house that school for us, you will get adequate funding from the state to make sure that, you're getting your Medicaid payments and, your money, basically that you're being supported by the state because you're housing our school. So when they initially started that agreement with ECU, it was Pitt Memorial Hospital that began that initial relationship, and I think that was back in 1975 that actually began that relationship. So over the years, as each entity started becoming bigger, things get more bigger, and that means money is part of the situation. So after everything was said and done, they was like, okay, if we do this deal with you guys, you have to allow, UNC was like, you have to allow at least some of our members to come on the board. So it was 11 members, apparently from my understanding, it was 11 members that were from Vidant, and 5 members were from, 5 members were from the UNC capital, whatever. So reportedly, with this deficit that they have, they laid off those 197 people. 82 positions are coming from corporate, 75 at Vidant Medical Center in Greenville, 11 from Vidant Medical Group, 7 at Vidant Buford Hospital, 4 each at Vidant Edgecombe and Vidant Roanoke Chowan Hospital, 3 at Vidant North Hospital, 2 each at Vidant Chowan and Vidant Duplin Hospitals, and 1 at the Outer Bank Hospitals. Also, they're stating that uninsured people have caused them to have a deficit. They're also stating that some doctors are making $500,000 and nearly $500,000, and that could also add to the deficit they have. They have until June, you guys. Vidant has until June with these new layoffs that they said that they just done, okay, to make sure that they meet their budget. If they do not meet their budget, they're going to have more issues. Now let's dig a little deeper. So with this situation that took place with Vidant in the state or whatever, the state was giving Vidant close to about $35 million annually to continue to run their establishment. However, with that of UNC and Vidant having this issue that they have with this lawsuit that's going on right now that started last year, 2019, with this situation that they have going on, apparently the state has pulled funds and they're not funding Vidant the way they were funding Vidant before. which puts Vidant losing $35 million. Let's also remember that they have to pay that $14.5 million to $14.25 million to ECU yearly. All right, now for all my people who out there that like to do math, I need you to be working with me. So if they're paying ECU $14.5 million and you subtract $35 million from that, but we understand that you were worth $1.5 billion, well, you had a revenue of $1.5 billion, and that took place over in 2017 when all that came into play. So we're trying to understand what happened to the money and where was the money going. So they did do the new deal where they built and enhanced the school, but they're not. I don't see anything on that that's reported as far as the money that was spent on that. But what it appears to be, in my eyes, that Vidant has mismanaged some funds. They were probably working to, like, you know how some corporations are just working with what they had, and it appears that that's what they were doing, because at this point, if you have a situation where, well, let me tell you this. First of all, with them arguing back and forth, Vidant and UNC arguing back and forth about who was going to be on the board, because people at Vidant was like, we don't need to put people on the board that have never visited East Carolina, ECU, Greenville at all. We want people who are local. We want people who represent our community, and they can make the decisions on what funding goes where, because they see this in the community daily. However, UNC is like, okay, no, but if you want money from the state, we have to all be able to cooperate together, because not only is the state funding you, they're funding you solely based on you having this contract with the Brody School of Medicine out in ECU. So during all of this, back last year, May 19, 2019, they had another sit down with the legislator, and it was brought up because they were stating that they could possibly take the $35 million. It's close to, the final number I think was like $500 million, but they were like, they can take that amount of money to possibly build another hospital that's a little smaller and put the school there. So that will be another deficit for Vidant as well, because they're missing that money from the school, they're missing that money from the state, because the state had put in that Medicaid program where Vidant would get paid a little bit more quicker, a little bit more accurately, like I said, than other hospitals. Now, by them losing this, and the North Carolina legislator changed the North Carolina legislator changed the Medicaid eligibility, which apparently affected the people who could be insured. So by the legislature changing in North Carolina, that's why you guys need to understand what's going on, why y'all need to get out there and vote. Because at the end of the day, the government controls what goes on in your places. And now you're going to see it. This ain't got shit to do with the coronavirus. So if I didn't say something about the coronavirus, y'all let me know. Tell them to at me. I did make a phone call, but they did not return my call. I did call the media specialist, because, media is what he's supposed to do, and I'm in the damn media, so I need to know. But other than everything that's going on, it just seems that, Vidant mismanaged funds. But I do have a comment from Congressman Butterfield, U.S. Representative G.K. Butterfield. He's a Democrat out of Wilson. And he faults the state legislature for failing to expand the Medicaid eligibility, what I just spoke on. He said it is unfortunate that Vidant Health had to make the difficult decision to lay off valuable hospital staff. Vidant Health, like many rural hospitals and healthcare providers, has experienced decreased revenue due to uncompensated pay. So let's stop there. Uncompensated pay means when people go to the hospital, they don't have insurance. So it's like, whatever, that's uncompensated. So they don't get the money for that. But by Vidant having that agreement or whatever, they were getting money. So even if people were coming there uninsured, the money that they were getting from the school and everything was compensating that. So Butterfield said in a rural hospital operators, he said, wait, I got too much highlighted. Butterfield said in rural hospitals operate on razor-thin margins and often do not have the capacity to absorb these costs. Like I just said, apparently Vidant was working piece by piece on what the money they was giving, and they was bullshitting people. But it's all right, we're going to keep going, move on past that. Studies have found that when states expand Medicaid, uninsured rates for low-income adults decline drastically, which reduces uncompensated care and gives lifelines to rural hospitals. The General Assembly's decision not to expand Medicaid has not only harmed patient access to care and overall healthcare system, of the eastern North Carolina, but as we are seeing today, it is having devastating ripple effects across the local economy as well. Butterfield continued to say, make no mistake, the General Assembly decision to deny Medicaid coverage to low-income adults is a major contributor to these layoffs. The federal government has offered the state of North Carolina a 90% reimbursement if the General Assembly expands Medicaid. It is appalling that an excellent healthcare provider such as Vidant must lay off hard-working employees because of the state's refusal to expand Medicaid. So can we have a minute to talk about that? That is simple, straightforward. You guys are not voting. Okay? I released a paper the other day, not a paper, but I released a post the other day showing the amount of black people who voted and the amount of, the amount of black people who did not show up and vote. And that's just the black population. And I had someone go up on my stuff and was like, well, half of them don't even know that if they're overseas and they can vote. Well, sir, you're in the military, so I just suggest that you be the individual that is helping them because you are still out there on the front line. So you need to be talking to people. Let them know that you can still cast an after vote. Let these people know, because here is your representative, Butterfield, letting you guys know that the North Carolina legislative, the legislative in North Carolina is basically gypping the people. The federal government offered North Carolina 90% reimbursement to open and expand their Medicaid, which means we're going to give you all your money back but 10%. We're going to help you. We're going to reimburse you. We're going to, whatever it is that you need to do, we're going to be there to support you because we want you guys to expand your health care, to make sure that your health care is taking care of your people in your state. But people don't understand. Y'all don't look at it like that. Y'all got to come and move out of ride real quick, because you got to understand that when your state is investing in you, it makes a big difference. If the state knows their population is 100% and they know what's going on, they make rules to affect certain populations, but they don't realize that at the end of the day, it does affect everybody. So at this point in time, you're seeing the ripple effect, like Butterfield just said, of how the state thought, well, we're going to do it this way, because apparently they were thinking about the people who all had money to pay for their health insurance and the people who had jobs that had health insurance that they can actually afford to get the health insurance with. That's who the state was thinking about. They weren't thinking about the people who actually keep the state and the economy working, the ones who go to these jobs like the McDonald's, the people who pave the roads, the people who actually go to the banks and then tell them. They're not thinking about those type of people. They're thinking about the people who sit across from them at them board meetings, okay? They're thinking about their kids who don't have to worry about stuff like that. That's why it's important for you to get out here and vote so your voice can be heard. Because if all you got 10 friends and y'all all feel the same way, those 10 votes can be the votes to take that person to win the election of whatever it is to make a difference in your community. But no, y'all want to sit y'all asses at home. But I'm through with that. I'm just letting you know right now that at the end of the day, you guys need to know what you're doing when you're voting for people, because this shows you right here. Vidant is one of the biggest hospitals on eastern North Carolina. They have the best trauma center. I can tell you that because my father was transported there he went there and they fixed him up. Okay? Vidant is bomb. Like, everybody, I know people, every hospital goes through their switches and changes or whatever, but what's really going to happen, because Vidant is low-key just about $40 million in debt, but they ain't going to go into all that. What's probably going to happen is that the UNC healthcare system is probably going to come in and buy Vidant out. And the reason they can buy them out is because they're in a deficit. That means they ain't got no damn money to pay nobody. That's why they're laying off people. But I'm going to end on that, and I want to say, again, make sure you are voting for your people. Make sure you are getting educated. There's no reason that a hospital this size, if you're not familiar with the Eastern Carolina area of Greenville, G Vegas, baby, you need to get familiar. Vidant is that bitch. Well, she was. She ain't no more. She falling off. And it's simple because the uppers, okay? So we definitely want to send our prayers out to the people who lost their jobs. If any of you guys want to reach out to me anonymously to give me more information and you want to talk about it, definitely you can give me more information. That's basically all we had, because I told you guys about the board. That's all I had on Vidant. Any information that I get on Vidant, I definitely will be pushing out to you guys. But at the end of the day, y'all have got to understand that you got to vote. You make the change in your community. You may not believe it, but you make a change in your community when you want your voice to be heard. And I definitely pray for the strength of North Carolina, because right now that ain't cute at all. Alright? So, moving right along. The next story I wanted to talk about tonight because it's big and there were some conflicting information going on, but there was a shooting that took place in Raleigh, North Carolina on a Tuesday afternoon around, I think, 7 o'clock. Officers responded to North Rogers near the Edgewood Place Shopping Center. If you watch the video, they did release video body cam of the incident that took place. If you guys have had the opportunity to watch it, you've seen what I've seen. So I called the people around there. Weren't nobody trying to get no information. Everybody was like, "What you hear on the news?" I was like, "That's what I'm asking you." But I did speak with one person, and they told me that apparently that the information that was released the very first day was incorrect. There was no child, there was no little boy out there. That was not the case. It was a man. As far as the details of what took place, apparently on Wednesday afternoon, police said 26-year-old Javier Torres was charged with altering, removing a gun serial number, going armed to terror of the public. According to the release, like I said, Tuesday, he was shot by police around 6:45 over there by the Regency. They said they was responding to a call of a man with a gun. A release 911 call reveals that a caller was concerned about an armed man making threats. Police said Torres ran when officers arrived and chased, and of course y'all saw that a chase ensued. Police saw Torres caught carrying a pizza and a gun. According to police, Torres ignored repeated warnings to stop and drop his gun. And the officer said that we initially asked him to drop his gun, and when he did not, he was fired upon. Now, I watched the video. I watched the, I watched the body cam. And watching the body cam, what I saw was, I honestly could not make out that the boy had the gun in his hand. Now, what it looked like was that he was throwing the gun as he was running, like he was picking the gun, because I was still looking for the pizza by this time, because when they was running, I'm trying to figure out where the damn pizza, if he still had a pizza, but apparently the pizza was gone. But my thing is, I was like, all right, well, bet, the pizza gone, what else is going on? So that's when I saw that as soon as they turned the corner, the guy popped him. And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, oh, okay. So I rewinded because he was running. You can hear the people say, stop. And when you hear the officer take the first shot, the officer who shot him in the abdomen, he was scared, you guys. Y'all can hear like how shooken he was shook. So you got to understand that people are going to be scared when they see somebody come with a gun. But at the end of the day, it's like, he didn't have the gun drawn. He didn't have the weapon drawn. That's my thing. His weapon was not drawn. The gun was visible just by him walking. Like, it wasn't like, I saw the first initial video, it looks like when they came in or whatever, like the gun was on your boy's hip. It was visible. Everybody, we definitely hate the fact that he was shot, but we're definitely excited that he didn't die. But yeah, it sparked a riot that night in Raleigh. But you guys, don't leave with false information. Like, there was nobody, like, I saw live videos of people, oh my God. I saw all those videos, and I'm really thinking like something happened, so I'm doing my work, trying to make sure everything's good. But yeah, y'all chill out there. Everybody stay safe, but the boy was 26 years old. Unfortunately, he was shot. He is still alive. Definitely, he's probably going to good old jail or hell. But yeah, you gotta understand that. So we're gonna see what happens with that. Definitely, everybody keep me posted. Let's keep each other posted. But yeah, we're gonna see what happens. The last thing I have are colleges are shutting down for the coronavirus, and it's becoming a bad situation because we just put some stipulations on people being able to travel. So that's becoming a big issue. So be cautious, be aware, and be ready to, let's say, provide when needed. Because there are going to be a lot of college kids out here who are going to be basically homeless for a little bit because they can't get back to their homes. Currently, right now, there are a few schools, a few states that have shut down schools, and we're getting ready to end off of this in a minute. But there are a few states that have shut down schools for 2 to 3 weeks. The state of Maryland being one, California, I do believe, as well. So this coronavirus is getting out of hand, you guys. Just wash your hands and stop being nasty as hell. The stock market is doing bad, and this Make America Great Again shit that y'all was running behind President Dumbass for is making y'all look stupid because this man allegedly was alerted and good enough damn time to make preparations. He's been asked multiple times, has he had his his corona vaccine or shot or whatever test. He said he ain't saying shit. He ain't saying nothing. He ain't got nothing to say to y'all hoes. That's what he's saying basically. So at the end of the day, we're going to see y'all. We get ready to head on out. I do want to tell you, I do have a special guest coming Monday. I will be sitting up here with the man himself, MC Boom Boom, period. It's going to be lit. So get ready. We're going to have a good time. If you never heard anything about the ball scene, we're going to talk ball. We're going to talk LGBTQ. We're going to talk about bringing everybody back together because it's time. Like Rihanna said, we are better together than we are apart. I got a song for y'all that I'm going to play on the way out, but I got to play the instrumental because if I don't, what's going to happen is Facebook probably going to shut me down again. But, you know, I mean, at this point, I think everybody feels the way I feel, but
fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, nigga, fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, nigga, fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, fuck Donald Trump. Yeah.
Yo, I'm out. I appreciate y'all for tuning in with me every Monday at 8:30. I will be back next Monday, 8:30, March the 16th. As long as the coronavirus shit don't shut me down and I can't go no damn where. Me and MC Boom Boom will be in the building. We will be turning up. Y'all, subscribe to the YouTube. Subscribe to Anchor. And all that shit, just subscribe. And most importantly,
folks, but I don't like Donald Trump. All the niggas in the hood wanna fight you. Surprised El Chapo ain't tried to snipe you. Surprised the nation of Islam ain't tried to find you. Have a rally out LA, we gon' fuck it up. Home of the Ride, the King Ride, we don't give a fuck. Black students, ejected from your rallies. Well, I'm ready to go right now. Your racist ass did too much. I'm about to turn Black Panther. Don't let Donald Trump win, that nigga cancer.